Is it on? I guess I'm gonna start a YouTube channel. So I know a lot of you have been putting a ton of requests in the comments for a long time, asking me to do a video about my YouTube experience, getting started, what to do, how to do it, and just my overall kind of journey. You're in luck. This is that video. Please also don't look in the comments. This is my first video, literally. I do want to talk about my journey getting started because I think that there can be value in sharing our experiences. This is going to be focused on just going from, I aspire to do this, I'm really interested in doing it, I've been wanting to do it for a long time, to actually doing it. There are some really practical steps and things that you can do to help you kind of commit to it, and that's what I want to share. There are a ton of things that go into actually starting a YouTube channel: choosing a banner image, creating a channel name, writing video descriptions, choosing the channel description lines, titles, thumbnails, and they're all super important, but I'm not going to talk about any of that at all unless you decide to actually take that first step. A title, a thumbnail, a channel description, those things just don't matter. Just taking that initial first step is actually one of the hardest parts of the journey. And you could argue that, yeah, that's the only thing that I've actually done. But at the same time,
it's really tough to put yourself out there, be vulnerable, and sit in a room talking to no one.
Also just super hard in an age where we're constantly being bombarded with entertainment and social media and opportunities to be distracted, to actually sit down, think about an idea. And that guy screaming, that makes it difficult when that guy is screaming like that. So that's why I think that some of these tips actually can be super helpful. The ones that I keep telling you that I'm gonna share with you, but then I end up not doing it. It's easy to believe that you just shouldn't try because you feel like you have nothing to say, or you don't know how to do it, or people are going to make fun of you. And listen, people are probably going to make fun of you, and honestly, I hope that you make fun of me too. It's probably the only way I'm gonna get comments. I want to share 4 pretty simple steps that I feel like put a process around the process of getting started. So the 4 things are: write it down, tell someone else, generate some ideas, and then set your expectations. By writing down a goal like starting a YouTube channel, you're actually almost 1.5 times more likely to actually successfully achieve that goal, according to this Forbes article that I definitely read all of, 100%. From top to bottom, left to right, because that's how you read. So number 2 is telling somebody else that you're going to do this. And this is where I think the real magic comes in, because by sharing it with someone else and then asking them to hold you accountable, you're just more likely to actually commit to doing it and then do it consistently. And it's great because they can encourage you, they can check in on you, see how things are going, and probably the best part is you'll always have someone to smash the like button. Really the best part about telling someone else is I think it just adds a lot more weight to it. You don't want to disappoint them or let them down. That's actually why I told my dad, because I didn't want to let him down anymore by becoming a YouTuber. Hi Dad, I'm gonna start making YouTube videos. Will you hold me accountable, please? I'm sorry, what? I'm not your dad, so please get out of my house. Huh? So I really told Aaron Mullenix, who's a fellow YouTuber, his channel is great. I'll link to it in the description because why not? He's my friend. My neighbor is sawing a person in half. He's a magician and a serial killer. All right, so you've written it down, you've told your dad. Now it's time to actually start generating some ideas. As with any big project, if you can break that down into smaller, more manageable, actionable parts, it's a lot easier to accomplish. And I'll talk about what it looks like to actually break that stuff down. A lot of YouTube creators will tell you to pick a niche. Here's an exercise that can help you kind of figure out and narrow down what your niche should be. First, make a list of all the things that you're passionate about. And the way that you can do that is just think about the things that you love to read, watch, listen to, research. Is it fashion? Is it technology? And some 90s Lisa Frank products. You can also look at the people you follow on social media and YouTube creators that you love to watch, and look at the content that they're creating, because you're obviously following it and interested in it for some reason. You don't want to be a carbon copy of them in the long run, but I think getting started, you can really lean into the inspiration because we're all inspired by something. So the other thing to think about when picking a niche is what are you actually an expert on? What do you love teaching others? That can help you generate ideas for what you'd want to make content about. So after going through that, you should have a list of 3 to 5 themes or topics that you'd love to explore. The next thing that you can do is make a list of 10 videos that you could make on each of those 3 to 5 themes or topics. And then hopefully from there, you can start honing in on the 1 or maybe 1 or 2 channels that you'd like to pursue. And the way that you can generate ideas for videos is, if you're an expert in something, think about the different components of your field of expertise. Each one of those could be a separate video. The other thing that you could do is, what are questions that you have about a specific topic? Maybe by answering that for yourself, you could film the process of that and then teach that to others. Now it's time to set expectations for ourselves. If you set the appropriate expectations, you're a lot less likely to get super discouraged and then quit within, the first few minutes, potentially, which is what I almost did. So here are 4 ways to set your expectations appropriately to set yourself up for the most success. So the first expectation is, you're probably not going to be great right away. You're gonna have writer's block, your edits aren't going to be perfect, and your on-camera performance might be a little bit stilted or awkward sometimes. It's gonna take time, it's gonna take a lot of practice. All of that is okay, because it leads into that second expectation, which is no one's watching. It's an opportunity for you to experiment and try new things and figure out your performance and who you are on camera and your editing style. It's much better to figure that stuff out now while no one's watching, so that as your channel grows, you're just gonna keep getting better and better and better. The third expectation you should just know going in, you're not going to make any money, at least not anytime soon. And that's okay too, unless you join my YouTube Creators Academy, which is definitely not a scam. It's normally $50,000, but today it's only, and the last expectation that you should set for yourself up front is, you have to focus on the things that you can control. So I've heard this from other YouTube creators, and I thought it was a super useful and practical tip for just setting yourself up for the most success. You specifically have control over how hard you're going to work, how much time you're going to dedicate to writing, and just having undistracted, focused, intentional time dedicated to creating content. You also have control over creating content and then publishing it on a regular cadence that you determine. Another thing that you have control over is incrementally improving every single time you do this. So focusing on getting better at the writing, getting better at your on-camera presentation. If you can wrap your mind around those expectations and be okay with them, then you're way more likely to just keep at it and keep grinding away. And now your dad is super proud of you and no longer acting like he doesn't know you. Which, awesome. So what's my experience been like starting a YouTube channel? Well, you just watched it. So I'd love to hear from you down in the comments what your experience has been like starting a YouTube channel. I'd love any tips or tricks that you want to share, any feedback that you have for me getting started, and any questions that you have. Or if you're just looking for an accountability buddy, like I said, I'm gonna link Aaron Mullinix's channel in the description, and you should definitely DM him as many times as you can to ask him to be your accountability buddy. Well, I feel like we covered it. Write it down, tell somebody else, preferably your dad, generate some ideas, and then there's some helpful steps in how to generate some ideas, and then set your expectations right. I hope you enjoyed the video. Until then, I guess I'm gonna end it. I don't really know. It's my first time, so I don't know how to end it.